Hey everybody, this is Steve Krause, and I'm coming at you today from my office in Prairie Herald, which is probably one of the last days I'm going to be actually on campus this semester, at least, as part of my regular kind of deal, because we're approaching the end of time, which I'll talk about in just a second. Okay, so underneath here is the final for the class, and you should read all the information about the final, and it's all pretty much self-explanatory. Let me just re-emphasize a couple of really key things, or a few really key things. The first thing is that unlike an essay, in the final you're better off just quoting as many different things as you possibly can, because what I'm trying to get from you to do in this final is to explain to me all the different things and the command that all the different things that you've read and the command that you have over all those different things. In other words, if you're able to draw a lot of connections between a lot of different readings and stuff, that's great. So lots and lots of references to the readings, and also don't worry about a works cited page or anything like that. The second thing is keep it short. In other words, this does not need to be an elegantly written document per se. I'm pretty strict about the word limit, so keep to them, because I'm not asking you to write a big, huge thing here. I want you to write something that is, small and confined, and that, hits the high points of the question, and that indicates that you've thought about the reading and are making connections between the readings and all that kind of stuff. But that's pretty much about it. And the last point is that keep it in perspective. And what I mean by that is that it's worth 20% of the grade, which is enough to make a difference, but it's not, huge, all high stakes final. And the other thing is that it should be treated as if it were an in-class final. In other words, you only want to spend, 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that on it, writing it, because I don't want you to spend the whole next week working on it. Okay, now, that out of the way, let me just give you a brief rundown in terms of what's going to happen between now and the end of time. As you know, I'm posting the finals underneath there, and as you know, your short seminar essays are due on by midnight today, April 19th. And what I will do is I'll start reading those pretty much over the weekend, getting into it probably more diligently during the week next week. Make sure that those are available via EMU Online, that I can find them. It kind of depends on what format they take. If some of you decided to do something unusual in terms of a website or something like that, it might just be a link. But what the point is that make sure that I can find them and that they're available no later than midnight on April 19th. Well, the other thing that's still left, it's not exactly left out there in terms of the semester, because I will go back and post a grade on this anyways, is the blogs for that people have been keeping this semester. I'll be posting a grade about that along with the grade to your short seminar essay and the final as I wrap things up here. Hopefully the blogs turned out to be useful for people the way that I was planning them being useful, which is something that would feed into the short seminar essay project. I think that they were. I guess we'll see how it turns out. But anyways, make sure that you have whatever you're wrapped up for the blog for the course, that you've gotten that all wrapped up as well. I'll be looking at those between now and the end of time. Anyway, so you do the final. Keep my advice in mind. If you have some questions about it, feel free to ask, but usually it's pretty straightforward. And the final is due at the end of time. That is April 24th at 5 p.m. Michigan time. If you get the final done before then, that's fine. You can just go ahead and not email, but post it to EMU Online. You might need to let me know by sending me an email saying, hey, I've got the final done, and then I'll go check it. And then usually when people get the final done, unless they get the final done really quick, I have the comments for your last project done too. So I should be able to email you back comments on your project and post a grade for that and for the blog, and then all that's left is the final for me to grade, which I'll grade after the end of time. But it absolutely, positively, under no circumstances otherwise, it has to be done by the end of time, which again is April 24th, 5 p.m. Michigan time. Now, just to be clear, let me explain the end of time. At 5 p.m., April 24th, everything's fine. Birds are singing, children are playing, it might rain outside. I'm looking out my window here. You never know. But at 5:01 on April 24th, Michigan time, time itself ceases to exist. Scary, right? Okay, listen. The reason why I always emphasize that is because I just want to make sure that all things must come to an end. And for us, the end is April 24th at 5 p.m. If there's any work that's outstanding, if there's any other sort of circumstances that are going on, it's got to all be settled by April 24th at 5 p.m. So if you were to email me and say, Steve, is there any way that I could give you the final on April 25th? My response would be, what do you mean? There is no April 25th. Okay, so make sure that everything is all settled. All right, I think that's about it. Just a couple of things, other things that are on my mind here real quick. On April 22nd, there's going to be a workshop about putting together conference proposals. I think that you probably have all gotten an email from me about that already. I would really encourage you to think about checking it out. Because a lot of you have done projects here this semester that would really make for great conference presentations at the upcoming C's, which is going to be in Indianapolis next year, which is, that's an easy drive. And it was a great opportunity for people to enter into the academic discourse, as it were. And I think that Derek and John Dunn, who are organizing that session on putting together conference proposals, are planning for an informal get together afterwards at the corner. So, if people are interested in that kind of thing, they certainly can. If you're seeking any advice in terms of registering for classes for spring, summer, or fall, shoot me an email, let me know. I'd be happy to talk with you more. I'd be happy to share, answer questions, offer guidance, sit down, talk to people about programs of study, all that kind of stuff. I'm just teaching this summer. I'm teaching 2 online classes. I'm scheduled to teach English 444, which is going to start in May, and I'm scheduled to teach an undergraduate class 328, which is going to start in July. 444, for those of you who are interested, is available for graduate credit. It's actually a course that works really well for summer graduate credit for people who are looking to pick up an elective, so we can talk more about that. But because I'll be teaching online this summer, I'm not going to be on campus on any sort of regular schedule because it's all online. So if you want to set up an appointment with me, pretty much after today, when you're looking at this video, you're going to need to set up a time for me to meet with you, because otherwise I'm not going to be on campus with any regularity. Okay, hey, listen, it's been a really interesting semester. There's been a lot of great stuff that's come out of this. You're liable to hear some more emails from me about other sort of writing and research opportunities that have come out of this class. And I really appreciate everybody for playing along. If you haven't done so yet, take a moment to fill out the evaluation that you probably receive information about from the people who organize the online courses. It's a different kind of evaluation that you would fill out if it was a regular class, because it's not paper. But I always appreciate the feedback that I get from people. And if you have any other feedback that you want to offer in terms of an email or a comment here or something like that, I'd be curious to hear what you have to say. Okay, great. Listen, hey, lots of fun. Have a good summer. See you online.